Hi folks, I'm just talking about my adventures of 3D printing, and I'm new to 3D printing and I'm learning as I'm going along. And as most of you know who've ever done 3D printing, the first thing you print out is obviously a benchy. And this is a benchy. This is just a little chip that you print out to make sure that the actual 3D printer works. Now I've got a Bambu A1 printer which I'll show you now. So here we have the Bambu A1 printer, and you can see that I actually put it inside a top cube acoustic cover, because even though it's PLA and they say that the fumes are okay, I'm not really happy with that. So I put it in the acoustic cover to make sure that I don't get all the fumes when it's printing. And what you do is you just pull that down and you zip up the acoustic cover. And obviously the other thing about having an acoustic cover is that it keeps a constant temperature inside here. So when you're printing, having a constant temperature is very important, because if you're in the middle of a print and somebody opens a window and the temperature reduces in the room, it could actually affect the print, which is something I wasn't aware of. So having an acoustic cover not only protects you from the microplastics in the air and the fumes, but it also keeps a temperature inside this acoustic cover, which makes sure that your prints actually print quite well. But you need to know things for when you speak to the Bambu support. Just open this back up again. So you have your axis, you got your forward or back, forward, left, left, right, and of course that goes up and down as well. So that's your X, Y and Z axis, and this is the tool head. So all these kind of terminologies and wording that you hear, you kind of need to get your head around. And obviously you have your panel here, and you have your memory card there. Now I have an AMS unit on order. The AMS unit holds 4 rolls of coloured filament. As you can see, I have grey here at the moment, and it only takes 1 roll. But in the acoustic hood here, there's 4 holes. So when you put your AMS unit on the side, I'll have mine on the side here. You know, I'll move that down and have it on the other side. But when I have it on the other side and I'll run in the actual filaments, I can run them straight into the actual tool head here. And there's 4 holes to put in your AMS unit there for 4 different colours. And as I have been doing a bit of printing, which I'll show you now in a minute, you'll see that having an AMS unit to do multiple colours is really beneficial. So that's on the way in at the moment, but it's going to take a few more days to come in. And it's best to keep the acoustic hood closed as well, because even though when the print is done, you can still smell the microplastics in there. So I only kind of open it up, take the print out, and then I close it again, and then that's the way I keep it. So you've just seen the actual Bambu A1 setup that I have with the acoustic hood. The one thing they say is after you print the benchy, what you have to do is print out a few tools that you're going to be using. So this is one of the tools that I printed out, and it's just a scraper, because the Bambu A1 printer does a test print of a little line, and what you have to do is you use the scraper just to take up the plastic. When the line is done and it's dry and all the print is done, you can take it up and then you can put it in a bin. And I went and also did the more advanced version. This is the more advanced version. You can see on camera there. So you print out both of these. They supply you with the actual blade, and you print this out, the blade and the screws, and you print this out, and it fits in there like that. And I have that on the side of the acoustic hood. There's 2 pockets on the side of the acoustic cover, and I put them, leave them in the side, and when I want to use them, they're there. So I started to get a little bit more adventurous, and I wanted to see if I could obviously do other prints. So apart from that and the Benchy, I also printed this here. And this is called the poop tray, which is really weird because what happens is when the printer's getting ready to do some printing, it has to make sure that the filament is working and it goes through the control, the tool head, and that everything works. So it prints out a sample, a wasted sample of what's called poop. And this is the poop. And if you don't have a poop tray, it goes all over the place. So I decided to print a poop tray, which goes on the side of the printer, and then when it does the testing and it poops out the piece of plastic, it catches it in the poop tray here. So that's the poop tray. So you need the poop tray. So that was a big print out there, that poop tray. So this is the next thing I did, quite adventurous. It's a little angel that I printed out that was on the Maker World website. There's loads of these models that are pre-done, and basically you put them on the Maker World website. You can you take them from the Maker World website. The Bamboo have their own website with all the models on it, and this is where I got this. Now, if I was to print this model exactly the way it is, with no supports, then this wouldn't work because you can't print in thin air. So when you're printing, you have to put in the 3 supports, which are just bits of light plastic. I'll show you a picture of what they look like. And it's just a picture, just a light plastic which holds the actual design in order. So when it prints out, it prints correctly. And then when it prints, you just snap off the actual supports, the 3 supports. So after doing a little version of that, I thought, well, I wonder can I make a bigger version by making it bigger. So I had to play with the software, and this is the bigger version of the Angel. So you have 2 versions there, the small one, and then I printed the big one. This is about 7 inches, which is very big. So, and it turned out really well. The finish on it is really well. So if you were into painting stuff like this, it'd be fantastic. It'd look really well as an angel. And then I said, right, okay, the board box that I have out in my back garden at the moment is not the best. I need a board box, and I was wondering if they had a board box on Maker World, and they did. So I decided to be adventurous, and instead of just using one colour, I printed the front of this board box out in white, and then I changed the filament. I changed the filament to grey, and then printed the rest of the box. And this is the board box that I have here. Let me take this out of the way. So, and if you want the boards to rest, obviously if I put it there like that, so you can see it's going to fall through, but you can see there that's I have to glue that in there. But that board box was from Maker World again, and I have to design a platform for the box and screw it in and everything else, but that's the easy part. So and if you want to hang the board box, there's 2 hooks on it there. So there you go. So just I'm learning, I'm playing with the 3D printer, I'm seeing what else they can do. I have ordered an AMS unit which is multiple filaments, because I do want to print stuff out with different colours and experiment. But the whole idea that you can actually print these out instead of going to a shop or going to Amazon and having to buy these, that you can find it on Maker World or on the internet, and you can print them out and you have them like this is brilliant. You know, look at that. So that's this is for a family member. It's a present for a family member. So the journey will continue. I will carry on with my experiments on 3D with the 3D printer. If you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. If you like what you see, like and subscribe, or you want me to show you something or do something, please leave a comment below. But thanks again for tuning in. Cheers.